ABC 10 News at 4 starts now.
Scorching temperatures to finish September. How San Diegans are managing the extreme heat as brush fires kick up across the county, bringing order to the presidential debates. Organizers vowing to change the format after a whirlwind first round. Plus, fans get creative for the Padres' first playoff game in 14 years. Record-breaking heat in San Diego. Beaches are packed as people try to get some relief. And this fire in Ramona is one of two fires sparking under the extreme conditions today. Right now, firefighters are working a 50-acre brush fire near Camp Pendleton. The Deleuze fire is about 20% contained. Forward progress has been stopped, but buildings are still being threatened. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'm Kimberly Hunt, and ABC 10 News reporter Cassie Carlisle spoke with firefighters and lifeguards about three important things to remember in this heat.
The temperatures today are pretty extreme.
Record temperatures forecasted across the county, making Wednesday the hottest day of the week and the most dangerous.
Everything's really dry. Everything's very ready to burn.
So we really take care of our own people, keep a close eye on them, make sure they're hydrated with water and Gatorade, and go from there.
The U.S. Forest Service watching over their firefighters in triple-digit heat while fighting a small brush fire in Ramona, keeping it from getting out of control, much to the relief of neighbors.
I'm relaxed now, but it was pretty hectic for a while.
The heat zapping San Diegans, many seeking relief at the coast.
I was starting to get 110 degrees out there, so we decided to hit the beach.
We're still seeing elevated beach crowds on the weekends and during the weekdays.
Normally, Sergeant Lonnie Stevens said the crowds dissipate after Labor Day, but that hasn't happened this year.
Throughout this heat, which has been ongoing for quite some time, yes, we have had citizens who have had some heat-related illness.
Urging everyone to drink plenty of water, wear sunscreen, and stay in the shade when possible.
It's a lot more tolerable, that's for sure. It's really nice. It's going to be a lot better once we get in that water.
Hoping we can all get through this heat safely. Cassie Carlisle, ABC 10 News.
Now let's go to meteorologist Angelica Campos. She is tracking these temperatures. Angelica.
Hi, Kim, and we talked about this yesterday and even throughout the week, how today would be the hottest day. So if you're feeling like today is hotter than yesterday, it is. Look at the difference since yesterday. 5 degrees higher in Oceanside, 10 degrees warmer in Carlsbad, and inland communities are ranging up to 11 degrees warmer in Kearney Mesa. So it is pretty hot out there. Dangerous heat is expected to continue all the way through the week. Temperatures are in the triple digits across the county, including Fallbrook, Poway, Ramona, El Cajon, and we did break the record. The record in San Diego was 91 degrees for today. We made it to 95 degrees already. Pretty impressive since 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Temperatures have gone up 4 degrees. They have also increased in Oceanside. The record for today there is 87 degrees. So it looks like we're tied at the moment, but the official numbers come in right around 4:30. So we'll have that for you later in the show. An excessive heat warning has been issued for inland communities and mountains. It'll be in effect until 8 o'clock. What that means is that temperatures are dangerously hot, and our heat advisory also expected to continue for the coast until 8 p.m. on Thursday, although the East County is going to feel the heat until Friday.
Thank you, Angelica. And remember, you can stay ahead of the heat anytime by downloading the ABC 10 News mobile app. The Padres are playing their first game of the playoffs in front of stands filled with fake fans. The real ones are socially distancing, but they are still surrounding Petco Park in their cars, in nearby bars, and in nearby homes. ABC 10 News reporter Steve Smith is there live, where the traditional roar of the crowd is sounding a little different today. Steve?
I'm by myself, 2006, last time the Padres made the playoffs. Unfortunately, as you said, no fans, mannequins, cardboard cutouts, kind of just like that. But we found one fan who kind of told me no problem because he lives out in about left center field, and he's enjoying the game because he's watching it from his 15th floor balcony. No fans inside Petco Park to watch the Padres' first playoff game in 14 years, but that doesn't seem to bother Chip Messenger, who has the perfect view from his apartment balcony.
I love it being here. I mean, besides the concerts and the monster trucks and all that, during baseball season's the best. Winning baseball, which none of us have seen in a long time. So it's amazing. The building wasn't even here the last time the Padres were in the playoffs.
Chip says he's a huge Padres fan, and although he's about 50 yards from the field, he makes sure his voice is always heard.
It's going to get loud. Plus, with all the other balconies out here, I anticipate us actually having a home field advantage for once. Woo-woo! I have a megaphone. They can hear me as loud as I need to with the megaphone.
Chip normally watches about 80% of Padre home games. While most seasons have been pretty tough, he says there's nothing better than playoff baseball.
Disappointing we can't be in the stadium, but the energy level, they know we're here. They can hear us. We've got horns and flags and whistles and bells. So the people who can see into the stadium are definitely supporting the team.
Hey, now the Padres do have this in the parking lot here right by Petco Park. Behind the fence, there's a bunch of cars. They have it kind of set up like a drive-in theater. There's a bunch of cars in there. They have snacks, so to speak, stuff like that. And there's big screens, just like a regular drive-in movie theater. Unfortunately, we haven't heard the horns honking too much. Padres have been behind for most of this game. As for Chip, after that first inning that we saw, well, he went back into his apartment because it was a little bit too hot. We're live at Petco Park. Steve Smith, ABC 10 News.
That is a real party at Chip's house. Thank you, Steve. Unfortunately, the Padres are not at full strength for the start of the playoffs, and that could be costly. ABC 10 News sports director Ben Higgins is at Petco Park with the latest on the health status of two key players.
The Padres waited until the final hour to make a tough decision, but two pitchers who they expected to be at the top of their playoff rotation won't be able to help them advance, at least not in this opening wild card series against the St. Louis Cardinals. Just hours before the start of Game 1, the Padres were still holding out some hope that either Dinelson Lamet or Mike Clevenger might be healthy enough to contribute in the series. But less than an hour before the 10 a.m. deadline, the Padres submitted a 28-man roster that included neither of their top two starting pitchers. Both are dealing with late-season injuries, an elbow impingement for Clevenger and bicep tightness for Lamet. It's a double dose of bad luck that forced the Padres to give their Game 1 start to Chris Paddock, who quickly surrendered 4 runs in the first inning. In one encouraging sign, both Clevenger and Lamet were included in the team's 40-man playoff pool, opening the door for a potential return. Before the game, General Manager A.J. Preller talked about the possibility of the pitchers rejoining the team at some point.
They've had some good days in a row, and then from that point forward, we kind of determined what's the best thing possible, and we just made the decision for them basically here for this series. Both for the short term and long term, the best thing was not to put them on the roster. A lot of faith in our other guys and our other pitchers and players. And I think we'll take the weekend and kind of reevaluate where they're at if we're able to advance to the next round.
We can't really worry about tomorrow. You can't worry about the next. We're just going to stay focused on, today, and we'll circle the wagon, see where we're at, from there.
If the Padres do advance against the Cardinals, they'll have until Monday morning to decide whether to add Lamet and Clevenger to the roster for the National League Division Series. At Petco Park, I'm Ben Higgins, ABC 10 News.
Go Padres. We're all rooting for you. Turning now to the coronavirus in San Diego this afternoon, the county reported 195 new COVID cases, bringing our region's total to 47,180. 2 new deaths were reported. The death toll now 783. And the county also announced new testing locations are on the way, specifically for K through 12 school personnel. ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala also got an update from UC San Diego about how the university is handling positive cases.
Our schools are trying to reopen safely in a responsible way.
With some K through 12 schools back to in-person learning, the county, working with the Office of Education, will open 4 new COVID-19 testing locations dedicated to testing school personnel. The first 2 will open in Chula Vista and San Diego, then Del Mar and El Cajon in the coming days.
We're going to be offering these free PCR diagnostic tests.
Students and staff can also get tested at the county's 41 other sites. When it comes to higher education, this is a look at UC San Diego Wednesday. Students on campus were seen following the public health orders. More than 5,000 UCSD students moved into campus housing over a 10-day period. All were tested for COVID-19. A spokesperson for the university says less than 15 of those students tested positive, and isolation housing is provided by the school.
I think, again, they have a very strong plan in place at UCSD for their students.
This dashboard on the university's website is updated to show how many people have tested positive off and on campus so far. Students on campus will have to be tested for COVID-19 twice a month through the school year. If there is an outbreak like we've seen at San Diego State, the public is then notified when the county reports its total number of cases. With more students across the board returning to schools, the county stresses the importance of continuing to follow health guidelines like wearing facial coverings, social distancing, and avoiding large gatherings to keep us from slipping back into the purple tier. Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
A woman who was run over and killed by a construction vehicle on the beach in Oceanside has been identified. The medical examiner's office says she is 68-year-old Carol Aguirre. She is a transient. Police say that she was asleep in the sand on Monday morning when it happened. The tractor was involved in a dredging project nearby. An arrest made in the shooting ambush of 2 LA County deputies, the other crime that linked the suspect to the scene.